my friend. So I have definitely been neglecting my YouTube channel. A lot has been happening though. I'm famished, first of all. I just got back from rowing class maybe 45 minutes ago. And I got food. I got horchata. I got some street corn, some elote, and I'm working on some al pastor tacos. This won't be a mukbang though. I don't really like that. I don't like a bunch of smacking and chewing in my ear while I'm trying to listen. I just don't know. It has been really busy though. I did Harvest Fest last weekend with my honey, my Jedi, and I got to see him in his element. I got to see him do what he does best, which is make people feel really comfortable. And I got to explore some of my own emotional depths and vulnerability. For me, Harvest Fest was about seeing how he and I operate outside of our bubble. I'm usually pretty hyper focused on him when I'm with him. I forget that other people are around, and not only did I have to share him with other people, which I have no problem with, but I also had to evaluate the ways in which I can love him bigger and better, and how I can support him on this mission. It was a good time for us to explore how we are when there's discord, when there's a miscommunication, when one of us just isn't feeling it, when I'm overwhelmed. I'm used to being babied, and he deserves that same treatment when he's overwhelmed. So just learning how I can be more supportive, what I can do to uplift and assist. I think that these festivals are a privilege to be at. We wouldn't be anywhere without cannabis patients, first and foremost. So I think that keeping patients and practitioners at the forefront of what we do is really important. I am not in the industry anymore, but I still say we because I still advocate. I felt like we were out there for a week. It felt like forever. It really seemed like kind of a staycation. We were going back and forth over the weekend, but I don't really feel like I missed a beat. Or maybe I just didn't have any FOMO around this event because I don't really know anybody there outside of him. So if I missed anything, it would, I wouldn't know. But I wanted to be next to him, under him, practically. And that's where I was for the most part. If I wasn't under his arm, I was under his hand. But yeah, I met a lot of new people. I am a little bit more visible on Facebook, which is new. I deleted, 2020, something like that. Just because I felt like the sin watching was getting out of control. The Cambridge Analytica situation had me reeling, and I was tired of being targeted with so many fucking opinions I don't give a shit about. I encountered it a lot after I graduated from ADA, and we were fundraising for films and things like that, and I was sending my friends and family clips of me, like, performing, and I remember someone asking me if I wanted them to make notes and send them over to me on a project that was finished, done. Like, the gate is closed. And I was like, no, you can just enjoy it as you would as though you were going into a movie theater as an audience member. Like, just sit back and watch. I think that I got all the notes I needed from the director. Thanks. Yeah, you budding young film critic. Give me your best. Give me your best. I don't want to hear what you have to say, honestly. You weren't directing me in this project, so save it. You can either watch it or don't. But, yeah, aside from that, it just got really weird. It just got really, really, really weird on the internet for a second there. And I had to go. It's still nice to have a curated space where I can be online with him alone in a way, and it feels like a less invasive way of getting his attention, or just letting him know like what I'm doing throughout the day without texting or calling, or feeling like I'm intruding in some way. Anywho, that was at Harvest Fest. Definitely owes me zero zilch nada. After Harvest Fest, I came back home to hella employment offers. I'm really swimming in them, and I just got another one today from a friend on LinkedIn, an old coworker who noticed my hashtag open to work, and definitely won't be removing that for a long time. I got a contractor position, and I decided to go with the contractor position as opposed to the full-time salary position, because I'm not in an era where I crave stability, and that sounds a little unhinged, but I have been unemployed before. I've been between jobs, or however you want to, dress it up. And being a contractor gave me more freedom, especially being in a remote position. I felt like I could travel. I do still have a schedule. I still need to be online and working between set hours. But for the most part, I'm really happy with the decision to not take the role where seemingly there would be more loyalty. I think that I am no longer under the impression that just because I've signed on with a company that I'm going to be with this company for decades and possibly retire there. I had that pipe dream before, and it got shattered. So, yeah, I understand wanting people to create their own businesses, everybody be a business owner, but I don't want to do that anymore. I've done that before, and it was really, really, really stressful. I was anxious. Everything was riding on me, and that's a lot of pressure. Definitely don't want to do that anymore. I'm okay with the kind of side quest gig economy thing that I'm doing right now. I have a very, very, very part-time job at Whole Foods for that 20% discount. So I'm training for that right now, and then my contractor role starts at the end of the month. I had several other positions. The one that I got offered today from my friend, that was more money. When she told me the pay, I was like, what? But that was more money, and yeah, I just told her to pass it forward to someone who needs it. I feel really abundant with the offers that are being lobbed at me. I don't know what's going on astrologically with Libras, or possibly my Capricorn. My Earth placements are probably being lit up right now. But Jupiter is kissing me on the forehead. So I feel really blessed in that regard. What else? I did row today. I think I'm back on the erg, at least for 2 more classes. I felt really shy. I just woke up feeling really reserved. But I think I have the best outcomes when I just put my clothes on and get out the door. And once I get out the door, I can figure it out from there. But I needed to move my body. I've been feeling really stagnant. I had a massage. Was it Saturday? Friday? My days are all running together. I do need some structure. But I had a Swedish massage. My butt hurts. He was like in there. Why would I say it like that? I had a Swedish massage, and then I had a cupping ceremony afterwards. Did I still have my cupping marks? I noticed some around my shoulders this morning, but I think for the most part they're pretty much gone. But yeah, I'm figuring all of this out. I'm working on some Halloween goodies for my Jedi and his boys. I'm letting the creativity out a little bit. Spooky season is upon us. I don't think I'm going to do a 30 days of horror like I've done the last few years. It gets really overwhelming after a while. It's like, how many movies can I fucking watch? Oh my God. And at a certain point, it started to feel like a job. An unfun job. So I probably won't do that this year, but I have been going to the movies to watch whatever. Yesterday I saw The Conjuring Last Rites, and boy oh boy, was that unnecessary. I don't even know. I love Vera Farmiga and I love Patrick Wilson. I think they have extraordinary on-screen chemistry, and that's what kept me in the seat. But what a boring fucking story. And the CGI elements were really corny. I think that these kinds of films are for people that don't read. Because I be on the Wikipedia. You don't have to tell me that Ed and Lorraine were married for 6 decades. Because I be on the Wikipedia. You don't have to tell me that this family stayed in this house 3 years after this exorcism happened. Because I be on Wikipedia. So though having those little updates throughout the movie was just, girl, who cares? It really takes, me personally, it takes me out of the world that they're creating here. I know that they're like loosely based on true stories, and true is subjective, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, was it unnecessary. And before I saw that, I saw Weapons a couple weeks ago. That was okay until the ending. Real whack-ass ending. Yeah, I was really fucking with it. And then the ending happened. I was just like, what? Wait, you set all this up just to do that? You set all that up just to do that. So yeah, figuring out what I want to do, or if I want to do a 30 days of horror, I have to figure out a theme. Weapons would be great for creepy kids. I gotta bring back my creepy kids theme. Weapons would be good for that. Rewatching Children of the Corn. I don't know. What are the other creepy kid movies? Ooh, The Shining with the twins. Yeah. That's been interesting. So let's see. Let's wrap up. Harvest Fest. Back on the erg. Spooky season's upon us. Ooh. I had a little surprise. I've been getting spoiled. My Mia. So, the other night, I was instructed to be ready by 6 p.m. sharp. No big deal. We were under a bit of a time crunch. And we had dinner. Kept it under an hour. Got back on the road. And we started heading towards the outlets. Which, I don't think I've been over there since we moved to Oklahoma. when we were staying in Yukon, we took a trip over there. God, I don't even know. It was just like a couple days after we moved here, officially moved here. It was in January 2020. So I haven't been over there in like 5 years, which is insane. And apparently had a little outing planned for me. I got to go to the Coach store. The Coach. I got to go to the Coach store with my honey bunny, who was in his purple scrubs, by the way. Looks so fucking hot. It gives doctor. He looks so official. Anyway, we go to the store, and I only had one rule, and that was I could only get one thing, which was not difficult. I also kind of felt like I was on Supermarket Sweep a little bit. I was trying to remember, like, you're in your slow down, soft life era, so take your time. And so, yeah, I was trying not to, like, tomb raid the store and scare everybody in there. But, yeah, the Coach definitely jumped out a little bit. I do balk at the quality of some of the jewelry. It's giving costume jewelry. I do balk at some of the hardware on these bags. Because what are we doing? What are we doing here? I should be able to wrap this chain around my wrist and defend myself if necessary. Function. So yeah, he kept steering me away from anything that was discounted or anything that he deemed to be like cheap. It's like I thought I only had one rule, and that was one thing. But yeah, he just wants to love me out loud and wants me to have tokens of his love that are not. Anyway, I got a very beautiful token, and I've already been swinging it and posting it online, so you've probably already seen it by now. But yeah, I feel radiant. I feel exquisite. I feel loved and honored and cherished. And what I'm working on is making sure that my place in his life is just as invigorating, just as fulfilling, just as satisfying. I'm good with like the tiny stuff, the small details. Just trying to help wherever I can, and that's just me in general. This week, I'm focused on relaxing for real. I've hustled, I've grinded, I've done everything I can. And right now, I think I just want to relax and enjoy September, my birthday coming up, and all the magic that flows through September for me. I want to be open wide and ready to receive it. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about my personal new year being around the corner and all of the emotional growth and personal development that I've seen for myself in these last few months. I think that anybody else would have rolled over or just died, you know? I just can't let a setback dictate moving forward and how I move forward, how I make progress. I only see it as an opportunity to pivot, to change up my strategy a bit, and create a new life for myself. I'm always looking to correct and stay in alignment and be on path with where I'm headed and where I need to go. Someone asked me the other day if I plan on staying in Oklahoma. It's like, if I need to, sure. But if I'm needed elsewhere, I'm happy to leave. And I know that everything will line up and fall right into place if that's something that is meant for me in the future. So yeah. I don't need a lot of certainty. I don't need it written down. But I I'm feeling like I'm in a really good place right now. So riding that wave. I'll check in later.